So, originally I was going to cover a video relating to the canned commentary on Halo Fan to basically show what to do and what not to do for a commentary for the most part, as I ended up proofreading someone else's script for the same video I was planning. Then I saw this video which had me stop dead in my tracks, staring at my freaking computer, bug-eyed, and glued to the screen in shock. So context, Doodle Tones made a commentary, response to a guy I'll call Kitty in this instance, who was basically going out of their way to get Doodle's attention. Then Midnight Vampire, who's my target today, ended up doing their own or her own, I don't know what gender they are, so I'll just be calling them by she and her pronouns, ended up doing a commentary on Doodle Tones videos. Then, to have a dull schmick make a commentary on that, with this Midnight Vampire then made a commentary in response to that, I ended up finding out due to a tweet by him on Twitter, and you guys know the rest. Now, to clear the air in the room, I will directly tell my audience not to go after Midnight Vampire for the purposes of harassment. Criticism will be fine, but by no means will I support the type of behavior that I mentioned prior. So, to ensure the safety of my target, I will not be linking the source material in the description below, as seeing as they will probably... you'll find out soon enough. Also, one more thing that's kinda more of a promotion than anything related to the commentary. I will recommend that you subscribe to Dull Schmick. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. The content that I've seen of his so far, I'm actually really impressed, and I think that you guys would like his work too. Otherwise, let's begin.
While I was about to go record for the next video that I'm about to do, I ended up finding this commentary. So this is gonna be my first commentary on a commentary. So this is Midnight Vampire, someone who I assume wants to join the CC, and decided to make their first commentary on Doodle Tones, simply as a means to get an influx of viewers.
This guy is already trying to make me look bad. Why am I not surprised?
Hey, Midnight, you understand that telling someone they ended up covering a bigger target to get people's attention isn't inherently a bad thing alone? In fact, my first couple of commentaries were to do that exact same thing for the most part, covering people that were bigger and could be considered to be tougher topics in the long run. Although you can debate whether or not those commentaries were good or not, that'll be up to you, although in the end it would prove nothing. What I'm trying to say is that Doll was saying what he assumes that is the case, and didn't give out indications as to what this was of it being a good or bad thing. Unless you can prove otherwise with the intent of these statements, the most I can do is just dismiss your claim and call you out for being conspiratorial and trying your absolute hardest to try and make everyone who disagrees with you to be the bad guy. If that wasn't your intent, maybe you should consider rethinking how you word what you say, present yourself in a way that would not be seen as spiteful and biased towards any form of criticism, especially when Doll here has yet to provide any indication whatsoever of him trying to have any malicious intent behind this video. Also, as a side note, can I just say the way that you're starting his video is kinda, well, jarring. Seeing as you just have your audience dive headfirst into a commentary without any context whatsoever for what's going on. And people like myself who ended up having to watch Doll's video on you first would be the only people that would know what's going on. What I'd recommend, if you're going to be doing something like this, maybe you should make some form of beginning statements as to what's going on, or possibly have a skit when it comes to having a clip play first. As honestly, this way and how this starts off is kinda confusing if you're unaware as to what's going on.
Now, I'd be down with this if someone made a pretty solid commentary on Doodle, although this sadly was not the case. Now, to everyone out there who might watch this, please don't go give this person a hard time. My video isn't meant to harass them or put them on blast, it's here to help them out and give some advice, so why don't we just jump right on in.
Fucking liar, if you didn't want people to harass me you wouldn't put the fucking link in the fucking description.
Man, what a way to assume. Look, the reason why one would link their video in the description is to ensure that people know what the source material is for copyright purposes for those who would like to know. When someone tells their audience to not harass you or someone, they're doing that, telling people not to. And sure, you can end up saying, well, maybe they might have a sarcastic tone. In this instance, Doll did not have a sarcastic tone, so you cannot even go off of that. Also, sure, we can now say that they now have the access to do so, but it doesn't mean that that was the intent for what their actions may be. In fact, I can point to things like chlorine, which was originally supposed to be used for a weapon back in 1915, but was then altered for usage of keeping water safe here. Sure, the intent was originally negative and then turned into a positive later on, but my point still stands. Unless you can prove without a shadow of a doubt that Doll is trying to have people harass you when he states that he's not trying to do this and this isn't his intent, then the best I can do again is just dismiss your claim.
In the description is a link to see the source material. Do not under any circumstance release anything to be a dick. I don't support questions or lynch mobbing, so don't be either. As for the subjects themselves, my video is for purposes of criticism and entertainment. They can read it. My content is not here to start drama. Please do not treat it like it is.
Doodle, it's obvious you want drama. If you really didn't want drama, you wouldn't put a link in the description, you idiot.
No. Doodle made this disclaimer because she truly, honestly does not want to start drama with one of her videos. And as for why Doodle puts the link of the original video in the description, well, Doodle explained this herself in her Law of Pink Pose commentary. So why don't I just play a few clips from that?
Dude Lettons is using a disclaimer as a way to avoid starting drama with people.
Well, first of all, that's not what my disclaimer is trying to say. My disclaimer explains to my audience to not go after the people I cover and to explain to people that I covered that my responses are not here to start drama, but are merely to critique and respond to whatever the target of the video is saying. Considering I started using this particular disclaimer at the start of this year, after the run-ins with the likes of people like Shieldsmeister, Wolfster, and PlushTubers all around who expected me to get into a drama with Dab Dude, people have this irrational idea that response videos are inherently there to start drama and to spread hatred, and that's just not true.
For all we know, you could be taking him out of context again.
Okay, sure. Too bad I leave links in the description so people can see for themselves, huh? If I'm truly taking him out of context and manipulating his words, you can prove it to me. Show me that what I claimed he said was inaccurate.
So the original video isn't there just to call forth the Bannerman to fight for the Queen of the CC. It's there to not only let people see the original video, but also to call out Doodle if she ever gets something wrong, takes someone out of context, or misses the point.
Actions speak louder than words, Smick. People can say anything but mean something else. Looking at dramas like the jar dramas, she obviously wanted that to keep going as long as possible.
Oh boy, there's so much wrong here, so let's go through the list of things, and let's play with your game of mental gymnastics here, gal. So let's just say you're hypothetically correct with the jar drama that happened, well, a year ago. What's your point? You're bringing up someone's past without actually presenting how this can be used now to prove your point. If she's known to repeat these said actions with other dramas, then maybe you'd have an actual point. Otherwise, I can point as to how and why you're wrong here, as we can see that the entire thing ended after Jar's hour-long fuckfest of taking apart all of the arguments that was actually presented towards him. Sure, she ended up putting the video in her dishonorable mentions for her top 10 worst commentaries for 2016, but that doesn't indicate that she wanted to continue the drama, instead presenting her opinion as to what video she didn't like and gave her reasons as to why it was there. Along with this, we can even go over to this whole just a robot thing, or even her video on Megatron DBZ, where she even states,
Oh, that video Jar and I both agreed was bad, that sparked a drama that both Jar and I agreed was stupid on all accounts. So you're gonna use it as an example of how sometimes I try to tackle subjects that I have minimal knowledge of, and how that sometimes gets me into doing a video that is objectively bad, because I could agree to doing that. Sometimes I do get in above my head, and someone's probably gonna argue I'm doing so right now.
if you're going to try and sit there and tell me that Doodle was or still trying to continue drama by doing commentaries and doing commentaries alone, I'd honestly love to hear your reasoning for this, as she even states with the disclaimer that you allowed to play within your video, that's not her intent. I will just tell you, you have no idea as to what you're talking about, and leave your unsupported as just that, an unsupported statement. Also, to go off on another side note here, how about I even point out as to how you're only using one case instead of multiple to show that Doll is wrong. If Doodles did stuff like this more often, maybe I could see where you're coming from, but honestly, with recent dramas that have came to be, the only dramas that I can name that went for much longer than what was needed in regards to commentaries, there was the entire Perrypuss Productions stuff, the Just a Robot thing, and debatably the Joshua Tree, or Joshua 8428, or Joshua Colby House, even though Doodle ended up debunking more than just Joshua.
So I did my video on the My Little Pony movie Rainbow Rocks. Joshua Colby House, don't think I need to go on about who he is, did a commentary on it. That a user by the name of Spirit Productions did a commentary on. Joshua didn't like that and did a commentary on her, only to later disown it and redo a commentary on it later. But it was too late because Carmonnet and Blaze of Arcana did a video on Joshua's first video. Luckily, no one knows who Carmonnet is, else we'd have another fucking chain. However, Joshua does know who Blaze of Arcana is, and did a video on him, of which the Master Reviewer and the Illogical Reaper both did a video on. Joshua responded to both those videos, and Dick Sponge Entertainment and Carmonnet responded to those. Dick Sponge do his video on the Illogical Reaper, and Carmonnet's on Joshua's video to the Master Reviewer. Finally, we have Joshua Colby House responding to Dick Sponge video, which I'll tell you this now, we aren't going to see very much of, but it's still there. Now, you may be asking, Doodle, what do you mean by we won't see much of that video? Why were there letters beside the degree chains? Well, that's both really simple and excruciatingly complex, because we're covering everything in this chain.
If people are interested in seeing those videos, I'll be sure to link them below.
Wow, okay, great. You're being a real thorn in my side. A grade A buzzkill that's really needy and actually quite begging for my attention to the point you'll straight up lambast pretty much anything and everything I do. Just a question, Kitty. Do you like being a total fucking buzzkill that I have no intent of wanting to be around in the slightest? Like, I remember comparing your constant bothersome antics to that of Dan Stein, a child who was in constant need of my attention to the point he would call me 15 times a day.
Doodle, why are you giving him attention? You're just giving him what he wants. Have you ever heard the expression never feed a troll?
But this person isn't a troll. Read these comments over again. He's upset that his questions weren't answered. He's upset that Doodle didn't watch his recent video at the time. He's lambasting some of Doodle's other videos by calling them retarded, and calling Ryan retarded and going out of his way to explain why he won't watch the streams. That isn't trolling. This guy is clearly trying to get Doodle's attention, akin to how a child would get attention, by acting out, throwing a fit, and just being a pain.
Then why isn't she just ignoring him?
Well, let's see. She feels the need to address them. Look, if there's a problem going on that you don't want to address, does that mean that you don't address it and then the problem will then go away? No, it really won't. If you have cancer, you'll try to deal with it even though if you don't want to, but you feel the need to as your life can be at stake here. Sure, this is a very big extreme to play here, but Doodle should be addressing issues that she feels the need to address, should she not? Are you going to blatantly tell us that the best option for Doodle here is to ignore this person if she feels that it's a problem that she needs to address? Sure, she could ignore him, but then the problem can get worse, seeing as it's obvious by the clip that you showed that with Doll was saying here that this person is upset and is determined to get Doodle's attention. If that's what he's striving for with this toxic behavior, the problem can get progressively worse as he's trying to achieve this by any means he can. Pay attention.
Streams like the Collectathon and the recent Poyo Zone streams are streams where I hang out more with friends. It's a chill out stream where my main focus is the games, inherently. And even then, I still from time to time answer questions that get sent in.
Why do we need a stream where you talk to your friends? I mean, it's not like your streams are the only time you can talk to them.
Midnight, this video really seemed like you were just trying to find a Doodle Tones video to commentate on just to have a Doodle Tones video to cover.
Oh look, big boy fucking cunt Smick wants to insult me. Well, I won't tolerate this. I won't stop you guys from harassing this person. Better yet, I'll put his video in the description so you guys can freely go harass him.
Then here's the part where I'm on the fence for if Midnight here is a troll or not, or if someone that's really mentally unstable. Midnight, he did not insult you, he was just telling you his thoughts about your video. If he said that you're being stupid or perhaps called you some form of name, this here isn't true and you're just getting your tits tied and not for nothing. If you're trolling, whatever. Still, on the off chance that you aren't, can I just say how stupid this idea is? You are telling your fans or viewership to harass someone who's giving you actual criticism and is just stating his observations at this time. You do understand that under any circumstance, including this one, encouraging harassment of any user here on YouTube will either get you a strike here or get you banned, right? You are actively telling your viewers to harass someone just for having a difference of opinion from yours. Along with this, the way that you're doing this, it does really send up the red flags if you're trying your best to keep yourself being taken seriously as well. You should think about your actions and what you are about to say.
Now considering all he does is talk shit, I'm just gonna skip to one part that really pissed me the fuck off.
Now, I wanted to keep that part in there just so that I don't have to comment on the Speakonia voice because I understand, Midnight. We can't all be blessed with decent microphones, and I won't chew your ass out about the text-to-speech. It's a non-issue as far as I'm concerned. So, since that's the end of the video, why don't we just move on to my final thoughts. Midnight, this is quite a rocky start, unfortunately. Plenty of your interjections were very unnecessary and innocuous, commenting on points in Doodle's video that didn't need to be commented on. You seem to just outright ignore the point of Doodle's live streams and just criticize the fact that she wants to listen to her friends while she plays the games. And on top of that, you just picked a very tame Doodle Tones video to commentate on. I get that making a video on Doodle will get you some kind of an audience, but you're not gonna do it this way. Try to have more things to say, or at least have some kind of a major issue with the video, since it seems like you were just making this commentary for the sake of making it. Now again, I don't want you to take any of this personally, and I don't want anyone to go after you, and all of this is mostly just for advice, because I want to see you improve. I want to see more from you, and I want to see where you go from here. And by the time this video is released, I'll already be a subscriber of yours. So I hope to God that your next commentary is much better.
So after all that shit talking, he tries to put on a nice guy act. Sorry Smick, nobody is buying it. It's obvious that you wish to avoid criticism and any backlash from this video. You claim you wish to see me improve, but I don't buy it. I don't even want you as a subscriber, just please fuck off and stop harassing me with your shitty content.
I fucking love this. The fact that the person has only made one video on you means he's harassing you. The fact that he decided to hand out to you actual advice means that he's trying to harass you. The fact that he has the video as a source for copyright purposes in the description below means that he's trying to have people go after you despite him telling people not to? Alright, you know what, Midnight? Final thoughts. As you say later on within your video,
I have a few videos in the works. I have videos planned on Sketch TV, Dylan Thomas, Doodle Tones again, and the Dark Commentator. I'm sorry that it is taking me a while to get these videos out, but I have to deal with some real life bullshit along with cunts like Doll Smick who fucking piss me off.
if you really want to commentate on people like myself and Doodle, go right ahead. But if you're going to be like this, you're only going to have people that you're covering laugh and not take you seriously by any means. The fact that you're absolutely trying everything to ignore advice that will actually help you in the end and try thinking that merely making a commentary on you and leaving the source material in the description below to send their fans to harass you even though they decide to say don't do this is apparently harassing you? This is absolutely pitiful and laughable. I'm sorry, but if you keep up like this, you're never going to improve if you're not a troll. If you're not one, stop doing this. If you are one, whatever. I'll let you do your thing and I'll do mine. If you're going to do a commentary on me though, I advise that you try not to play mental gymnastics with me though if you're serious about all this, mainly because I don't tolerate that shit. Anyways, to review for others, think before you speak, know what's going on, know how to present yourself, and don't think that if people are criticizing you, they're doing the same as attacking you. That's it, and I'm drawing an end to this.